Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. We appreciate you. For those who are subscribed and long-term subscribers, thank you so much for the ride. It's going to get even better. Of course, if you check in the description box, you'll see all the other things you can do. So check out, you can subscribe to our, check us out on Twitter, check us out on Facebook, and all the links are down below in the description box in this video, so check it out. And also check out the end of our videos as well, where we usually at the end of videos I will put out other videos you can look out and suggest other videos on the latest videos on the channel. So hit the subscribe button, and after you hit the subscribe button, go across into notification. There's a little bell, hit that as well. It's fantastic to be able to sit down and talk about this subject, Joshua versus Parker, without the room exploding. It's back to normal now. So this video is called Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker. What did we learn? I don't know, what are we collectively? Well, what I've learned, I can't say what I learned, what we've learned, because I kind of put this more as a community. So without further ado, everyone likes England's videos, puts out so much effort into them. Thank you so much, Job. I appreciate it. So before the room starts getting cluttered and loads of people start jumping in, I'm going to say what I've got to say and get out the room real quickly before I get attacked. Okay. Some of these things are pretty obvious. Some of them are not as obvious. First thing is, Anthony Joshua is a superstar. In the UK, at least, he's a superstar. You see that by in fact, I will go and say he's a global superstar. I'm going to say that, and I'll tell you why I'm going to say that. And you know, when somebody's a global superstar, when it starts to affect YouTube. For those of you who follow the analytics across YouTube, those people who do the back know the channel inside out will understand that the week of the Joshua fight, or the weeks leading up to the Joshua fight, there was a steady incline of people on YouTube watching Joshua videos, and our channel definitely benefited from that. So, you know, it wasn't because of Joseph Parker, it wasn't because of Deontay Wilder, it wasn't because of anybody else, but this man, Anthony Joshua. So he has had an effect over the YouTube galaxy. So that's something that people may not have known, but now you know. But this man, Anthony Joshua. First of all, congratulations, Anthony Joshua, for becoming unified heavyweight champion of the world. One more step is to become WBC champion and undisputed champion, which is against Deontay Wilder. Not talking about that today. We'll talk about what we've learned. So the first we gathered, he is definitely a superstar, and you can see the love that he has, or the support he has by many casuals. And the casual market does get a lot of stick, but I'll give the casual market this much. I've got a different view of the casual market. The promoters are cashing in on the casual market, and if YouTubers can get a hint and get a clue, I'm sure they'll start cashing in and appealing to the casual market as well. I'm not sure if I can get myself to that level of hype, but if I did, I think they make a lot of money in it. So definitely the casual market is come out in force, and they're the ones, let's be honest, that a lot of them are supporting Anthony Joshua. I'm not saying that hardcore boxing fans don't support Anthony Joshua, but a lot of casuals make up for that. And a lot of the hardcores know what's going on. The casuals like a night out. I mean, I went today and I was talking to somebody and I overheard them talking about Anthony Joshua's fight. I knew they weren't a boxing fan. I just knew they went out because it was a night out. So Anthony Joshua is also an event. It's an event. People go out and have a good night. And when a guy, how I define an event is when casuals turn up to watch a fight in force. When people buy VIP tickets to watch you fight, it's an event. I think in a sense that what I mean by that is like corporate sponsors start coming along to big fights. he's an event, you know. Yeah, so event. He's an event. He's not just another boxing bout. It's not just another boxing fight. Deontay Wilder, with all due respect, is another boxer. Now, if Deontay Wilder was in the UK, I'd be interested to know how that would work out. If Deontay Wilder was a British fighter, how that would work out in terms of sales, because he's delivering the knockouts, and he's got a loud mouth, and he gets in people's faces. So how would Deontay Wilder be if he was in the UK? And then how does Anthony Joshua work out in America? That's what I'd like to know, because it's different. The transferable thing is very different in terms of America being much bigger. Well, you probably could fit England into Chicago 10 times over, and that's just one state. So it makes you wonder. But anyway, what have we learned? So we learned he's a star. It's definitely an event, pay-per-view attraction for sure. But let's talk more about the fighter and the fight. Anthony Joshua is a puncher, yes. But what we've come to understand now, against two guys now, Takam, a fight that should have gone to points, and Joseph Parker, it did go to points, is that when you give Joshua a little bit of movement, can't land the big shots and can't land enough of them to be concussive and to cause knockout. And you look at some of the shots he caught Joseph Parker with, clean uppercuts on the inside. But again, when a lot of the times when he hit Joseph Parker is when he was on the back foot, And if you listen to my pre-fight breakdown to this fight, I said, if Parker can close the range down, and not, or keep Joshua moving, then it's going to be hard for Joshua to land them big shots. And that's the thing. When people watch boxing, they think because a guy's got a big punch, he's going to knock everybody out. But they forget this game is about, this game is about levels. It's about, at a certain level, guys who come straight forward in straight lines, they're more prone to get knocked out than guys actually moving their feet. Now, let's understand something here. A lot of people, let me adjust my camera just slightly. A lot of people I know on my channel or on BWTM Sports was giving Hughie Fury an awful time. The amount of abuse Hughie Fury was getting on the channel is unbelievable. Oh, he running against Parker. He did this against Parker. He did that against Parker. Parker's a bum. Blah, 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 blah. Joshua could knock him out in a few rounds. But I was saying people that were saying that. Did Joshua make Parker look stupid in that fight? No. How often did Joshua make Parker miss and make him pay? And make him fall into the ropes and didn't? How often did Hugh Fury make Parker miss? How many times did he make Parker miss with big swinging punches? Parker did look kind of clumsy coming forward at times, but he did get in on Joshua. He did get in and he did land shots on Joshua. Joshua, for me, didn't put a masterclass on against Parker. He put on a good performance, a decent performance. But, and there's a massive but here, this is the things that I learned. One, Joshua on the back foot is not as effective. When backed up and rushed at, is not as effective. We saw that. And the referee broke up a lot of the action. Because Parker couldn't, Parker wasn't good enough to just box his way into it. He had to stumble his way into things. You look at the way he kind of rushed forward at one point and put his head forward and just like a bull went forward and said, damn it, I'm just going to jump in. Now I'll jump in. And the other thing I noticed about Joshua, and I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll keep on saying, the best time to attack Anthony Joshua is when he commits. When he commits is the best time to hit him. When he commits or when he just finishes an attack. And if you look at the fight, that's how Parker was attacking Joshua. Joshua's vulnerable when he's attacking and he's resetting. When he's set, like that, and he does that, he's dangerous. Joshua's dangerous at that. Joshua isn't so dangerous when you come straight at him like that, like how Parker did. A little bit of movement and come at him. Joshua doesn't quite know what to do. But if you let him get on the front foot and land them big shots, he's dangerous. We noticed that. But when you back him up, he's not as effective. And the punch power isn't the same. Rather like Gennady Golovkin. Golovkin, great when you stand right in front of him, you toe your toe, and you land them big shots. Oh, you knock a house down. Once you start giving these guys movement, they don't quite know put the shots together. They don't look the same. They don't look as effective. Golovkin, you see in his fights missing a lot of shots. And you're seeing Joshua now missing a lot of shots. 2 fights in a row. We can't say, well, it was the weight because he lost weight. Look sharper, and we know that that weight probably suits Joshua better. But Parker was able to get on the inside and push Joshua back. Interesting. The other thing I noticed about Joshua, when he's hurt, he lets the referee know about it. Look at the Takam fight where he got hit on the head or got by Takam. He stops, he pulls away. Now there's a rule in boxing that says protect yourself at all times. It's 2 fighters I've seen now clash heads with Joshua. One hit him on his nose, I think it was the nose, and one hit him in his forehead. 2 fighters now that have just allowed him to go. Now, do you think you could do that against Deontay Wilder? Let me ask a question. Do you think that stuff like that could be allowed to be done Deontay Wilder? Now, why is it that both guys, Takam and Parker, when Joshua's done this and either got headbutted or nobody's kind of jumped on Joshua? That's the question I want to know. Why do fighters not jump on Joshua? Because he's saying to the referee, I'm hurt. If you do that stuff in America, the referee's going to be less lenient. I don't think he's going to be as lenient as they are to Joshua in the UK. This is the way I'm seeing it. People might perceive it differently, but little things like that I'm concerned about. The other thing is, if you go back into the fight and watch, there were moments where Joshua was actually communicating with, he was looking over for guidance, either from the trainer or looking over to people in the audience, where he was actually boxing. And actually, at one point, you notice him saying, like, tell him to keep quiet, and he's trying to box. Now, for me, for you to be able to do all that, you're in a very controlled environment. Will you have time to do that against someone like Wilder, who won't give you that space and time to do those sort of things? I hear a lot of people saying, oh, well, he's going to knock Wilder out and stuff. Well, Parker is fast, but I'm sure he's as fast as Wilder. Parker had less reach than Joshua, and I think Wilder's got a longer reach than Joshua, and Parker had a shorter reach than Joshua, and Parker was able to land on Joshua. And Wilder, lanky, thin, able to use that reach and that powerful right hand is going to cause a lot of problems. Parker, we learned, showed a little bit of movement, showed a little bit of good footwork. For a guy who's naturally known to come forward and have a fight, switch up the game plan. One can only wonder what would happen if a tried and tested boxer mover was in a similar situation to Parker. Because if Joshua couldn't land that many blows on Parker, and Parker isn't known for being slippery and, you know, putting hands behind the back and doing all sorts of stuff, imagine what a Tyson Fury would do. And a lot of people talked about Hughie Fury and how Hughie Fury would get blown away by Joshua. But that movement that Hughie Fury's got would cause a lot of problems. If Parker is causing those problems and it's difficult for Joshua to land shots, you've got to give both the Furies a chance because of the movement. Tyson more so because we've seen Tyson do it and be successful against Klitschko. But this isn't Klitschko, this is Joshua. And that all depends on the mindset of Tyson and his shape and who's training him in that corner. But I wouldn't be too quick to write off Hughie Fury based on what I saw of Joshua that night. If Joseph Parker is able to do what he did against Anthony Joshua, and he's not, a boxer mover. And that night he became one and was able to execute the plan to not get knocked out. And then again, let me get something else straight. I learned quite early on in the commentary that Parker was more interested in getting to 12 rounds than he was actually to become world heavyweight champion and become undisputed champion. I don't think for 1 second Parker believed he could actually win the fight. I think he'd have a go and try. But if he knew he wasn't getting anywhere, what he would do is get on his bike and say, you know what? Let me just get to 12 rounds. If I don't get knocked out by Anthony Joshua, well, I'll be the first man that didn't get knocked out by Anthony Joshua. And I put up a good performance. I didn't get knocked out. That's the first thing. Oh, yeah, I didn't get knocked out. I could have done shit. I could have done so much more. But I was so worried about not getting knocked out and worried about, getting splattered in front of all these people. Instead, I'm going to box and, be defensively aware rather than, take my opportunities when I get them. Because if you look at the 12th round and even the 11th round, there was no real urgency from Parker to actually, jump on Joshua and try and win the fight. Of course, some heavy blows by Joshua obviously would deter any fighter. But Parker was able to take those shots. At no point in time reading the fight did you see Parker get really hurt. And even attack and fight, again, another fighter that's shown a little bit of movement, head movement, able to move the body, a bit more flexible. Again, Josh has been missing with shots. So it's 2 fights now. We just wonder if the actual puzzle of Anthony Joshua is actually unraveling before our very eyes. There were some things I saw that were quite nice where he's stepping back and trying to throw shots. That was nice. But again, Joshua, as I've said before, he's vulnerable when he's loading up his own shots. I don't think for the development of Anthony Joshua, he should continue fighting in Wembley or fighting in the UK. I think he needs to get away. I think he needs to fight, in America sooner rather than later. I don't think the referees are doing him any favors because he's going to think that's going to be the case when he fights in a big fight where there will be a neutral referee, i.e. when he fights in America. And it's maybe if he fights in America, if the fight happens in America against Wilder, the referee is going to be an interesting point. It will be. Because remember when Hatton fought Mayweather? Hatton was doing all these things in the UK and able to get away with all these things in the UK. He got to America, and then he had the referee, I think it was Richard Steele. Every time Hatton tried to get inside to do what he normally does, referee wasn't having it. Referee wasn't having it. See, it all depends. The stuff that Joshua will get away with in the UK at the moment, will he be able to get away with it when Wilder faces him? This is another interesting point. So, you could call me being overcritical. You could say I'm overthinking things, or you could just say, you know what? That's a good point there. It's down to you. But congratulations again. I will say it again. Congratulations to Anthony Joshua. He's got 1 more belt to get, which is the green belt and the most dangerous fight for him in the division. Joshua does not move his head, comes in straight lines, and you've just got to ask yourself, Wilder will get him. Wilder will get him, and he's got the speed, the power, and the movement to do it, and the jab to cause Joshua a lot of problems. Joseph Parker, what you can't do when you make predictions, and this is no excuses, what you can't do is make predictions. It's a referee. You can't tell how the referee's going to react tonight, but the referee broke up a lot of action during the night. He broke up a lot of action where Parker was probably going to, Parker's best opportunity was to get on the inside against Joshua. The referee didn't allow that, and that in itself ruined a really good fight. Again, that's down to the corner, and Kevin Barry and his team and Parker's team should have jumped, as Lou Duval would have done. He would have jumped out and said, "Oi," and have a word with the referee and said, "So what are you breaking up this fight all the time for?" But hey, why do that? It seemed that they're quite happy to get the money, get paid, and go back home and fight on another day. Now he's talking about fighting on Joshua's undercard. Nice. But a lot of respect between Joshua and Parker, of course. So those are my thoughts there. Let me hear what you people have got to say in the room. And let's go. The fight reminded me of Lennox Lewis versus David Tua. Okay. Aaron Smith says, AJ has become a global brand now, and it is the casual market that pays the money. Agree with you there, Aaron. I think Wilder would be banned after that body on my record comment if he was British. Interesting. Wilder would do great in the UK because the public just wants a person who delivers knockouts. I agree with you there. Jimmy Partridge says, after the Klitschko fight, he realized if he wants a long career, he can't have too many wars like he did that night. Agreed there. It's also about boxing, something Wilder lacks. Forget the boxing. Wilder carries that big punch. And again, I give the example of Wilder as one of those characters in Mortal Kombat, Sub-Zero, or, you know, whoever. They've got a special ability. Wilder's special ability is that he punches. Forget everything else. He punches. Can't knock an unbeaten record, and you can't knock that punching power. And I wouldn't put any money on if that right hand that Wilder lands on Joshua's chin, like the right hand that you think that if Wilder hit Joshua with the same right hand that Klitschko did, Joshua might not get up. Alex Gonzalez was impressed with Parker. He didn't do as well as he could have, but his style was right. Agreed. Aaron Smith says he's still quite flat-footed. His jab is improving, and he can't rely on his uppercuts. He's been learning the jab and grab off Vlad. I agree there. Jim Partridge says Josh did 12 rounds for the first time. Agreed. I just keep thinking, what if because of that awful ref? Yes. When Parker backing off, it's hard to look good versus a negative opponent. Parker was smart. Boxing science again. Parker was smart. Parker knew because of the reach advantage Joshua had, he had to stand off Joshua and then some. So the jabs he was throwing were jabs not really to hit Joshua, but really for distance and timing. So Parker was just gauging distance there. A lot of jabs were landing short because he knew if he stood in range with Joshua, he was going to get nailed. So why do I want to get nailed and be the end of a right hand? Let me be, 4 or 5 inches away from that, still be in range to just kind of put a jab out there, but not be in range to get nailed. That's what Parker was doing. He was being defensively responsible, not running, being defensively responsible and not wanting to get caught with the end of the right hand. So just a couple more inches off. So that's why the jab kept dropping short. Strategy, not bad. RJ can't fight off the back foot like Kell Brook. Ref wouldn't let Parker work. I said this before. AJ can't fight off the back foot. But you know what? A lot of people say AJ can fight on the inside. Did a lot of holding for me. Ref was poor. Joshua would get him in the corner, but never threw the right hand. It's like Emu. When Saunders gave him movement, they come unstuck. I agree. Joshua, one belt from undisputed, and for this era is the best, but not great, to be honest. Wilder KO AJ in 6. Well, remember, Klitschko hit him in 5, so knocked him down in 5. So it's all possible. Parker hit AJ with a good shot. AJ wobbled, and Parker just looked at him. It does make you wonder, doesn't it? Told you AJ will keep the fight on distance and get comfortable unanimous decision. Right, with the help of the referee. So Parker was fighting. Parker was fighting the referee. He was fighting the judges and Anthony Joshua. That's a tough fight. Well then, AJ should work on his back foot game, his side-to-side movement, head movement. Think he needs to. Big smile there. Aculis 180 says Huey showed a lot more against Parker. Footwork, movement, jab. Joshua looked slow. Boxing straight lines, defense not great. I'm glad you said that, Aculis, because that's what I was thinking as well. A lot of these people that were booing at Huey Fury are the same ones who were booing at Tyson Fury before Tyson became world champion. And as soon as Tyson became world champion, it's like kissing his ass. Wilder got beat up by an old man, Ortiz, and got no skill. Jimmy Partridge, Ortiz was the most dangerous man in the heavyweight division that nobody else wanted to face. And Luis Ortiz was a very highly skilled heavyweight, unbeaten. So I'm not having that. Sorry. Fury didn't KO Vladimir Klitschko, so knocking him out. Wilder. I'm not sure about that. I don't think game plan will be the same for every fight. Parker was comfortable in the back foot versus Takam, so it's nothing new. Comfortable on the back foot. Takam's a come forward fighter. Parker's best approach against Takam was to fight off the back foot. Going to toe against Takam is not the greatest approach. Joshua tried to go toe to toe. Takam was missing a lot of shots. So I'm not quite sure. Boxing's a science. We learned that Joshua's profile in the US is just the same as White's according to the US ratings. Totally agree with you there, Lawrence Williams. James Doherty, Huey needs to be more braver, plant his feet more, exchange shots. We might see that in the future. Based on what I've been seeing in camp with Huey, we'll see a totally different Huey Fury come fight night. Because because HBO has more subscribers. It will be a war for AJ with Wilder. Can't wait to see how he appears. AJ versus Wilder ain't happening for a long time. Okay, Josh and Wilder have flaws, and both will get beat. Good. Joe Cortez, that's the referee. Tyson Fury outboxes both Wilder, AJ. Danny Dubois knocks both of them out in a year or two. Not the way Dubois, not with that flat foot Dubois coming with, no chance. Do you not think AJ will prepare for a fight with Wilder? Have you seen? I don't see much difference in the way AJ has been boxing, to be honest. That referee is a criminal. Both fighters suffered from him. Wilder has many flaws to come on. You talking shit about old man Ortiz hitting Wilder with 35 unanswered punches. Did he go down though? He didn't go down. Joshua went down to a 40-year-old Klitschko who hadn't fought for 2 years. Let's talk about it. Fury beats them all too slick, would dance around AJ and pick him off all night. Potentially. But he did get nailed by Klitschko as well. You forget that. And remember, he got dropped by Steve Cunningham, Devon Pajcek. So, everyone's talking about this Fury thing. The fight before that and the fight before that, he was uncoordinated and, he was going to knock his own self out. So everyone's got wise over to the event. He isn't going to sleepwalk into that fight. Hope not. AJ inside is more dangerous than Parker, I believe. Referee hurt both fighters, I think, equally. I heard that referee bought new house and car in Spain. I said, how can Fury KO Wilder when he couldn't KO Vladimir Klitschko? I don't understand your question there. We talk about two totally different fighters. I'm just saying Parker is comfortable on the back foot or coming forward. What's good, BWTM? All good, Box Watch TV. Hope you're well. So yeah, I think that's about it. There's not too many things I want to say. I can never trust what his promoter says. His promoter will say whatever he's got to say at the time to say what he's got to say. So his job is to promote a fight and to promote his fighter and to make his fighter look in the best light. So can't really believe what any promoter says, really, particularly that promoter. What else? I saw a bit of the old bully boy there with Parker, with Joshua. But it didn't work. And I don't really believe that Joshua will be able to intimidate Wilder. No way, shape, or form. No chance. Jim Partridge says, good show. Thank you. Does AJ do anything special? Just has size and power. All the fights are the same. Only Vlad fight was exciting because he got put down. There you go. There you go. There you go. He should have not. That Takam fight should have gone 12 rounds. And the Parker fight went 12 rounds. So I don't see the Takam fight as a knockout. So to me, it's two fights that should have gone to 12 rounds. So the myth about AJ being a devastating puncher, Wilder's knocked everybody out so far. Does AJ... okay, UK box is killing it. Bro, I don't think AJ fought scared. Didn't do much work per round. I don't remember any combos. What do you think? I don't think AJ fought scared. Didn't do much work per round. And I don't... yeah, what AJ's done, he's taken on the Klitschko approach, which is not much, but effective. If you look at Klitschko, Klitschko never threw combinations until he got you hurt. Klitschko was always 1-2, 1-2. Didn't throw many uppercuts unless he knew he was going to land. He wouldn't land it. So Klitschko's 1-2, 1-2, 3. That's all Klitschko do, straight down the middle. And Klitschko may land the old hook on you. But Klitschko really, his work was very, you look at Klitschko, a lot of the work was 1-2, 1-2, 3. They didn't throw too many combinations, because when you throw too many combinations, you leave yourself open. That's a Klitschko key. Throw little punches and throw them only when you know you're going to be able to land them. Make sure I'm in a position defensively to let my shots go. So that's a smart thing, and that's something that Joshua's learned from working with Klitschko. That's a Klitschko. That's one of the secrets of Klitschko's success. Trust Eddie putting Luigi the Barber as referee. Parker would beat Wilder. That's a big statement there. Big statement there. I mean, Parker didn't look great against Hughie Fury, but Wilder can punch, whether on the front foot or the back foot. He can punch and he can land. Do you think McCracken is wrong coach for AJ? Absolutely, but that's my personal opinion. I think he fought scared. I meant he fought cautiously. That would be the word. Very cautiously, and he kept looking outside the ring because he couldn't bully Parker. But Parker was a real fight. AJ's last two opponents were not exciting, but he needs a good opponent to make it exciting. No, Joshua's last two opponents were highly skilled opponents. That's why. It wasn't knockover jobs. Didn't come in straight lines. I don't rate Dubois flat-footed, comes in straight lines. That's what I said. Too cautious. Mike Tyson walked straight through AJ fighting like that. Yeah, he would have done. Mike was slipped inside. Whoop, 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 whoop. And by the time AJ put one jab out, just look what he did against Bruno. And Bruno has a better jab than Joshua. Usyk would destroy AJ. Destroy him? I don't know about destroy him. Don't know if he'd destroy him. He'd beat him. I don't know if he'd destroy him. Wilder, Chaos, Parker, probably. I'd have picked Bruno to beat AJ. Battle of the Stiffs. I said Battle of the Muscle Men. Nah. LOL, nah. Bruno would gas after 5, LOL. I mean, a right opponent like Klitschko. No, a right opponent is like Wilder. That's exciting. But when you talk about exciting fighters, you're talking about trouble. An exciting fight would be Jarrell Miller. Why? Because Jarrell Miller is not very good technically. But what Jarrell Miller does carry is a decent chin and just big. And he's flat-footed. So Jarrell Miller is the perfect type of guy for Joshua, because he's just flat-footed and comes forward. But guess what? Jarrell Miller is dangerous as well, because he just wings punches from everywhere. He don't even look where he's punching. So Jarrell Miller is dangerous. As long as AJ has different gears to go through, it's fine. I remember very boring fights, including all Mike Tyson, Lewis against lesser opponents, etc., etc. Stars make fights. Don't agree with you there, James Doherty. Stars do make fights. I think AJ will fight Miller next, to be honest. I think so too as well. That American debut in America against Miller. And he's an Eddie Hearn fighter now, isn't he, Miller? Promoted by Eddie Hearn. I want to know what's going on with these fighters. You know, what's the deal with these fighters when they fight Joshua? Miller versus White would be a good tear up. You are picking my words. Exciting opponent is exciting. White versus Miller would be a good tear up. White versus Povetkin is better. I'd like to see White actually fight somebody who is technically very good. I'd like to see him fight Povetkin. White is a solid boxer and could give AJ real problems in rematch. Would need to take it to later rounds and work body. White's improved, but I don't know whether I want to see AJ rematch with him. Miller is like a tree trunk. I think Miller is a very hard fight with Joshua and will take him 12 rounds again. Chisora would stiff Miller. Can't fight Miller next fight after post-fight Saturday. But it'll happen because the casuals will demand it. Look, any which way, watch this out. You see, the promoter's very smart. So what he does, he says Povetkin will fight He wants Povetkin, White to fight Povetkin. If White don't fight Wilder, then White will fight Povetkin. Okay, well, okay. In that case, we'll sew that up there. And then we'll get Miller to fight Joshua. Well, that prevents Deontay Wilder from fighting Miller in a fight. So that gets Miller out of the way. And then you've got Pulev fighting Dominic Brazil. So Wilder screwed up both ways. He can't go and fight Brazil, and he can't fight Miller. See, they're smart. They're playing smart. So, and then White's going to go on, trying to get White to try and fight Povetkin. If White don't fight Povetkin, he fights Wilder. They're very smart. So it keeps Wilder away from Joshua. Look it out. Look it out. And they'll say, oh, well, Wilder's asking for too much money. No, we're going to take in a fight now. I think in fights, AJ is supposed to have the upper hand. He doesn't push forward enough. Wilder fight could be another one of those Charlie Kitchen matchups for him. He would have to be aggressive. And if he gets aggressive, he gets knocked out. The minute AJ opens up on Wilder, that's where he gets knocked out. That's where he engages. So Joshua will have to, for him to beat Wilder, he's got to be careful how he outputs his punches out. Because that's where you look at Joshua, where he gets nailed is when he's unloading punches. Just imagine if Pricey had stopped Povetkin, we would have AJ versus Price at Wembley this summer. Big Baby needs to get back in the gym, get back in his prime. Opinion on AJ saying he ain't moving out of the UK to fight. Well, that's what the casual market has done. People need to put pressure on AJ, but they're not going to. Big Dummy Miller. White beats Wilder and Povetkin. I don't know about that bit. Mike Tyson would have killed AJ. Finito. Eddie Hearn is in the room. That's nice. It would have been Joshua versus Price with Ryan Burnett against someone Mexican for the main event. That was a disaster. Up to the fight, up to the Ryan Burnett fight, which I know, no disrespect to Ryan Burnett, he's probably a very talented fighter, but I saw him fight against, I think, Jason Booth, and from that fight, I can't watch Ryan Burnett. I find him probably the most boring fighter to watch in boxing. He is the most boring fighter to watch in boxing, in my opinion. Highly skilled, no disrespect, but not for me. Very boring. Price would beat Miller with his chin. AJ needs to put Wilder down early because Wilder's most dangerous later on in fights. And I think AJ's defense would give him the upper hand. Mike Tyson prime would beat most, to be fair. That's great, James. I agree there. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think of my analysis of how would you maneuver Parker to get back to the top? Who should Parker's next two opponents be? The WBA title. Let him fight for the WBA title. I think he should fight Lucas Brown. I'd like to see him fight Lucas Brown and fight Duhaupas or Christian Hammer or Marius Vac. Any freedom guy, any one of them guys, I'd like to see Parker in the mix with. Or even Shannon Briggs. It's almost torture. 10 rounds of Crawler, followed by 12 rounds of Burnett. Crawler, can you put the kettle on? I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I'm done. Everyone, thumbs up for the chat, people, please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Both probably really nice guys, Ryan Burnett and Anthony Crawler, and thank them both for what they've done in the sport of boxing. But I'm sorry, I can't. I can watch Crawler. I could just about watch Crawler, but I don't think I'll ever be able to watch Ryan Burnett. I'm sorry. You know the fight I want to see as soon as possible: Ryan Burnett versus Tete. Make that fight done, and I'll turn up to that fight. Definitely watch that fight. I'll pay to go and watch that fight. Tyson versus Parker. Don't see that happening. Not as a comeback fight for Tyson. Parker versus Povetkin. Yeah, I'd love to see that fight. That'd be a great fight. Million Lira Corolla. Parker versus Char for the belt. Yes, agree. Definitely. Yes. So shout out to the my Kiwi supporters from around the world, particularly coming from New Zealand. Yeah, shout out to my Kiwi support. The pay-per-view was missing McDonald 12 rounder and Paul Smith for a title fight. Well, Jamie McDonald's all right. I don't mind Jamie McDonald. He's cool. He's all right. I don't mind watching him. And he fight some good fighters. Ryan versus Tete. Like, that's the fight I want to see. Like now. Make that unific. I love the way how Adam Smith kept talking about all the other champions that were around, other fights he could have. But when the word Tete came out, he kind of brushed past Tete real quickly. And Martin Murray's 6th round of the finish. No. Martin Murray and Rocky Fielding 6 rounders each. We need a fight worthy of paying for, LOL. Do you think AJ versus Wilder happens this year? I think 2019. I said 2019 as well. But who knows? The world of boxing is a very strange place. You never know. People, the way AJ was fighting last fight, it made me think, you know what? He probably is looking for the Wilder payday. So, yeah. It could happen. It could happen. Heard Big Baby made a move on Wilder. Mrs. Yeah, I heard about that. I did hear that story as well through 50 Cent. I think it was because of the mandatories. Wifey, I heard about that. I say 2020, to be honest. Well, it would be atrocious if Joshua were to get beat by somebody less than Wilder. Parker versus winner of Hey Bellew 2. No. I tell you what, the winner of Hey Bellew 2 fights the winner of the cruiserweight Super 8. So Usyk or Gasayev, the winner of that goes and fights the winner of Bellew Hey 2. That'd be great. It's two fights away, I think. Last year's model. Oh yeah, Parker would destroy Bellew. Yeah, I think so. Well, no, I don't think he'd destroy Bellew. I don't. I think it'd be a good fight. I don't think he destroys Bellew though. AJ Hearn said AJ may have to drop a belt if not this year. Do you think Parker would be better with Teddy Roach? No. Or Virgil Hunter? No. Ronnie Shields. I think he'd do really well with Ronnie Shields. Dave Price versus Dave Allen. 2 Daves, White Lightning. Great stuff. Belly to beat Hay. Great stuff. LOL, Tony. Would be interesting to see what would happen if David Hay beat and knocked out Tony Bellew in the rematch. How much Tony Bellew would be on Sky Sports. Be interesting. BWTM, if you can't sleep, just put on some of Ryan's fights. You'll be asleep in 2 minutes. Ryan's greatest hits. Now, no disrespect to Ryan Byrne. He's probably a pretty good fighter, but it's not for me. I think AJ will drop a belt, to be honest. Yeah, if he drops a belt, if AJ drops a belt, then it gives a few people. Listen, 2 people I still believe can do something in the heavyweight division. Bermain Stavern and Bryant Jennings. Both guys, Stavern will have to, in my opinion, change trainers. And Bryant Jennings, I think those are guys that I think will be able to slip in at some point. When them belts get dropped, when them guys are going to slip in and get a chance. I still believe Bryant Jennings are going to become heavyweight champion. I do. I believe he's still got what it takes. Very underestimated fighter. Hey, isn't injured again. Isn't he injured again? I hope not. Dave Allen got blistering footwork and hand speed. Jennings is a cool guy. He is. Dave Allen versus Joseph Parker. I think that'd be great for Joseph. And I think Dave Allen should go to New Zealand and take that fight. Good fight. Good chin. Top. Stavern is done, in my opinion. Well, I think if he can lose some weight, coming around 17.5 stone, be interested to see what he's got left. I mean, he got done by Wilder, but who doesn't get knocked out by Wilder? Ortiz got knocked out by Wilder. Stavern got knocked out by Wilder. I mean, I'd like to see him fight anybody else but Deontay Wilder. And then we'll see what he's got left. Because we really don't know what Stavern's got left. He got stretched out and around. So, you know, and Deontay Wilder is a savage puncher. It's not like he's he's an unknown puncher. This guy's a savage puncher. Love Bright on your stream last night. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Bryant Jennings. Drossi dropped Stavern in the fight before Wilder. LOL. Yes, we know that. It was a pretty bad KO. Yeah, you know, but then people have been knocked out before and come back and become world champions. So, hey. BJ Flores belly 2 at heavyweight. No news of a head injury as far as I can see. Still a month left for him to get injured, though. Dave Allen versus Lonsdale at heavy bag. Do you think it will be Hay versus Bellew? I think Hay, to be honest, if not injured. Or Tin Can. Shit. I'm not getting involved with this. I'm absolutely not getting involved with this conversation. Right. I'm out here. Again, please, if you're on Facebook, hit the sports channel page on there, BWTM Sports. The link is in this description box at the moment. And get yourself in there, like it, and send your requests, and we'll do more videos. And if you've got any interviews, let us know the interviews you'd like us to do. And if there's a boxer that you know that you probably want us to have do some stuff on. Oh, by the way, before I finish, my boy is back. Rashidi Ellis is back. That's one of the most dangerous welterweights in the world. You heard it here. Rashidi Ellis. Check it out. Right, I am out of here. I need to get some sleep. This is 2 o'clock in the morning. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the support. I'm out. This is BWTM. Bye-bye.